We are one of the safest cities in Ohio. That's a reason why people would want to live here, want to put their business here, and that all starts with the safety forces. But information from our residents also helps keep the community safe.
Welcome to episode 65 of the LoraineCounty.com Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Ed Skimmon. I want to kick things off by thanking the LoraineCounty.com champion sponsors, Lorain County JVS, WOBL Radio, Lorain County Commissioners, Community Foundation of Lorain County Community College, and Emerge Inc. Today, we're talking with Kevin Corcoran, the mayor of North Ridgeville, Ohio. Join us as Mayor Corcoran talks about the unique character of North Ridgeville, highlights its people, parks, and amenities. He shares his priorities for health and safety, recent infrastructure improvements, and economic development strategies. Kevin also discusses attracting businesses, managing growth, and the importance of involving the community in decision-making. North Ridgeville's story over the past 60 years has been one of remarkable growth. From just over 8,000 residents in 1960 to more than 38,000 today, the city has transformed from a rural township into one of Ohio's fastest-growing communities. In just the past 15 years, the city has added almost 10,000 new residents, along with new businesses, industry, and an expanding network of parks and trails. Mayor Corcoran shares how the city is planning for the future while addressing the opportunities and challenges that come with such growth. Here is my conversation with Mayor Kevin Corcoran.
My name is Kevin Corcoran, and I am the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville.
Welcome, Mayor Corcoran. Thank you for joining us and sharing your insights.
No problem.
How would you describe the character of North Ridgeville, and what do you think makes it a unique place?
First, it's the people that make it unique. There's a lot of great people that live in North Ridgeville. We're an interesting city in that we are growing, and there's a difference from a lot of the other cities in Northeast Ohio. We have had some exponential growth over the years, but now we're slowing down in that exponential growth and now moving into just a slower growth phase. But North Ridgeville has some unique features to it with some metro parks, Sandy Ridge Metro Park. We have a lot of our own parks. So there's a lot of things for people to do with trails to go on and playgrounds for kids to play on. And we offer all the normal amenities that Park and Recreation would have. We have a senior center. There's a lot to do and a lot to keep people busy, but it's a great place for people to live and work and play overall.
What are some of your key priorities and initiatives for you and your administration that you're focused on right now in the city?
It's always going back to health and safety for us. That's the priority. We spend a lot of time and money and effort on those things, but that includes everything from the new police station that we built last year and opened up. We renovated our fire station 2 last year, and we're just consistently improving our safety forces, but it also includes everything I mentioned, some of our park systems, the health of the people, putting trails out for people to walk on. Even when we did the reconstruction of Center Ridge Road, we added a trail in so people could go a couple of miles from end to do that. So we're always looking to improve everybody's health and safety all the time and use whatever means we can. And it all starts with safety forces, but also public works, for example, and them maintaining the streets and roads and reconstructing them and finding new ways and easier ways to move people through the city. I think that's been a big focus of ours as well.
You mentioned the residential growth. I know there's also been a lot of commercial growth. Can you talk about your economic development strategies and initiatives?
We're always trying to figure out a way to get more businesses to move into North Ridgeville, and some of that has definitely paid off. Last year, for the first time ever, the business community is now contributing more in taxes to the city than the residential community. So that is a pretty significant moment to have that flip for the first time ever. The strategy appears to be working, so we're pretty happy about that. But one of the bigger employers that recently came to town was Dayton Freight. We have some unique businesses that are coming to town. We have Roof Briquetting Systems that is building a facility over by Dayton Freight, but they make bricks out of waste material, whether it would be wood or metal. They create bricks so that way that product or waste could be reused for whatever manufacturing purpose that there is. So we've had some of that, but the city wound up buying a 46-acre piece of property where we are trying to turn that into an industrial park. We're using some of our own efforts, direct efforts, to try and do that. We work with outside partners with Team Neo and Jobs Ohio to market some of those properties and also try to attract people. But we have another significant piece of property that we do not own that we're putting a road in over by the 480 exit entrance on Lorraine Road that will open up about 60 to 70 acres of property for economic development. And we heard from the owner that he does have an end user in mind and an agreement, I believe, to move forward. So they're just waiting for that road to be completed, which will get started later this year and should wrap up by mid-year of next year. A lot of little efforts, but constantly a focus of ours to try and do those things.
What's your vision for what types of businesses would go into the industrial park?
We're working with an outside entity to try and target those businesses that would be interested. And it usually revolves around some manufacturing facilities. A lot of them these days are looking for space. For us, we're always interested in a business that has a lot of employees and that get paid very well. The income tax is the main source of revenue for us. So that's where we'd like to have those businesses come into town. We have to develop the property still. We have to bring on water and sewer to that 46 acres, but we are targeting certain industries and using those outside entities like Jobs Ohio and Team Neo to target them.
What's your approach to housing developments, and how do you balance growth with protecting North Ridgeville's overall quality of life?
That's a huge challenge, as you could imagine. The city had grown a lot over the past 20 years and continues to grow. Looking at the infrastructure, we're looking at the road systems and trying to move people through safely. That's a big piece of growth. Adding to the police and fire departments specifically and public works to get some of these projects done is another component. So we're always looking for opportunities to increase our workforce and provide more safety to our residents. But that is a big challenge. We don't own a lot of the land in North Ridgeville, and people have the freedom to sell that to who they want. And so that sometimes leads to them selling it to housing developers. And we can't stop that from happening, but we're very cognizant that it could still happen in the future. Right now, we're going through a review of our zoning code. And so we'll see what winds up coming out of that as we move forward to see how we can try to put some things in place that will help us out into the future.
When you talk with residents, what are some of their concerns, and what positive feedback or ideas do they share?
They're always concerned about safety, just like us. So that's always a big talking point. A funny story, we used to get more questions about trash pickup than anything else in the city,
Sure.
but that seems to have died down. But everybody's always concerned about safety. I like to remind people that we are one of the safest cities in Ohio. We do get that designation often enough. So that's a great selling tool for our community, a reason why people would want to live here, want to put their business here, and that all starts with the safety forces, but the residents also have a role to play in that. That whole idea of seeing something and saying something, we do get information from our residents that helps keep the community safe. That kind of sums that part up.
I know the North Ridgeville School District is a big part of the community. How does the city collaborate with the schools?
They're one of our biggest employers. So they're an important piece. Education's an important piece of every person's life, and the schools are an important partner for the success of the city. I think you see a lot of the times successful cities also have successful schools. Successful schools have successful cities. So there's a lot of work and collaboration that we do with them annually. We have a joint address to the community with the state of North Ridgeville. So we do that together to show that we're working together to improve the community for everybody.
Speaking of partnerships, what's your approach to partnerships? And can you talk a little bit about your partnerships with other mayors, the county commissioners, and other community leaders?
We're always collaborating with all sorts of different entities, whether it be local or statewide, or in some cases, even national. We're always looking to get better ideas, the best ideas that are out there from different communities on a monthly basis. Now it's changed to every other month, but we get together as mayors and managers of Lorain County to share ideas, what's going on, and have discussions. I belong to the Northeast Ohio mayors groups, get to listen to different ideas from outside of our county. And then we participate in the Ohio Municipal League. So that brings up a different flavor from around the state. So it's a lot of that collaboration. I happen to be on the board of NOACA, which is the transportation agency for Northeast Ohio, or at least the 5-county region. So there's a lot of collaboration and ideas that come about because of that too. So those are just some examples, but I mentioned previously about Jobs Ohio and Team Neo, where I happen to talk to the county commissioners quite often. There's sometimes that we need some collaboration with them, and others we We collaborate with the state. We're lucky to have two great state representatives with Representative Gail Manning and State Senator Nathan Manning. So they both hometown people from North Ridgeville. So we share a lot of information with them and try to get their support for some of our efforts. We've managed to get some state funding through them, which has helped out a lot for some of our bigger projects.
What would you say is the biggest opportunity for North Ridgeville?
The possibilities for North Ridgeville are endless. I still see a lot of positive growth that could happen. I think we have the opportunity to grow economically with business growth, and that is still a great opportunity for the city. But North Ridgeville's in a great spot. I think we're a great community now. I think you could always make things better, and there's opportunity there. But I think it's a great place, like I said, to live and to work and to play. It's just a really nice community.
Let's switch over and talk a little bit about you. What's your
Okay.
background and what led you to run for mayor?
I moved to Ohio in 94, and I was living on the east side at the time. In 2000, I started working for Bob Schmidt Homes, which brought me over to North Ridgeville. I worked for them for a long time, and then during the course of that employment, I wound up running for council. There was some people that were retiring, and so I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring, and I got elected. So I was on council for about 12 years, and then at the time, Mayor Gillock was retiring, and I thought I would throw my hat in the ring for the mayor spot. And I've been here now. This is my 6th year as mayor. It's going pretty well, and I think we're doing some great things. I think if you look at the history of achievements during that time, it's pretty remarkable the amount of them that have happened during that time.
As mayor, what are you most proud of accomplishing in that time?
Oh gosh, there's so many different pieces, parts, but right from the beginning, I know people were very excited that we got a Starbucks, which was something that I was working on when I was a councilman. Those are the funny things. You know, I have a weekly video that I put out there to let the community know what's coming up. But one of my most popular Facebook posts was about the Taco Bell that was coming to town. Everybody looks at achievements a little bit differently, but I think some of the transportation changes that we've made have been significant achievements, and some of the bigger ones that are still to come. For example, we got a big federal grant to put an overpass over Race Road, and that will help cut down on response times for our safety forces, but also improve the flow of traffic through our city. We have put in a couple of roundabouts.
I use the Mills Road and 83 one almost every day.
Yeah. So the Peanut, it's been a great thing to add over there and improve the safety over in that location. We've done some studies to improve safety over by the Lear Lorraine area. That's a longer term project, but I think it'll be a huge accomplishment during that time. I mentioned the police station. Getting that passed and built is another great achievement, along with the improvements that we've made to the safety forces. I could keep going on and on, but I think there's been so many great things just in the 6 years that I've been doing this.
Going forward, what are your goals? What would you still like to accomplish?
I just want to keep trying my hardest every day to make things better and make people proud to live in the city. So that's something we spend a lot of time on, trying to figure out what's the best use of the money that we have and trying to use it as wisely as we possibly can to make things better for the community, whether they live here or whether they come work here.
How would you describe your leadership style? What principles shape how you lead, and what have you been influenced in your leadership style?
I read a lot, so I pull some things from all sorts of different leaders over time to make me me. One of the hallmarks of my time as mayor has been how much we've involved the community in different efforts. You look at everything from when we were doing the charter review, pulling in residents from across the city to do that. We put together a master plan that we finished up last year, and that was a cross-section of people that live in the city. That was actually ultimately picked by the consultant that we were using, but all this collaboration that we've been doing throughout my time here, internally, bringing people together to make decisions on hiring. Sometimes people don't understand how much we work together to try to accomplish some of our goals. We even have a weekly leadership meeting that we talk about the things that are going on and how we can work together with the different departments to achieve those goals.
Outside of City Hall, what are some of your hobbies and interests, and how do they help recharge you?
I like to exercise. I like to spend time with the family. My kids are getting older now, so that's a little bit harder to pull off at times, but I like to read. And I think between the reading and the exercising, I think that keeps my head on straight.
Finally, where can people go to get more information on North Ridgeville and connect with you?
Our website's the best place to go all the time. It's nridgeville.org. We have a city Facebook page that they can go on as well. I have Mayor Kevin Corcoran page on Facebook that I post that weekly video that I referenced. So there's a lot of different ways people can come to City Hall to talk to me. I have a coffee and conversation on a monthly basis. People come to that to listen to what's going on, and then they ask questions after that. So there's a lot of ways to connect. We try to communicate with people in a lot of different various forms and try to get it out there in different ways so people can be informed. But we're here. I think the best way for anybody to find out the accurate information is to reach out to the source, and that would be us. So I think the website's a great source of information. And then if that doesn't answer your question, then you could always reach out directly to us. Call us, email us, or even stop by.
Well, thank you, Mayor Corcoran, for joining us and sharing your insights.
Sure, no problem. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the LoraineCounty.com Insights Podcast. Each episode, we share conversations with the people shaping life in Lorain County, from business and government to education, nonprofits, healthcare, and entertainment. Be sure to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. You can also visit LoraineCounty.com to discover local events, volunteer opportunities, and more community resources. If you know someone who's making a difference in Lorain County, send us a note at podcast@LoraineCounty.com. We would love to share their story and insights. Special thanks to our producer, Leah Gerke, and to you for listening. This has been the LoraineCounty.com Insights Podcast. Conversations with the people shaping Lorain County.